You didn't see us all there, all dancing away.
I don't have to sing that song anymore because the audience is so great. It's so
do you love it? Obviously, it's 25 years ago. Do you ever feel a bit, do I have to sing that again?
I went through a period of being a bit, do I have to do it? And then I thought, a couple of years ago, you know what, these are my songs, it's my legacy. And when you go out on stage and sing them from your heart rather than begrudgingly, it's amazing the effect. And people pick up on it. You're a voice coach, you know, what you project, it's so important. So, and also, you know, people, without those people and those songs, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Also, the 80s, I mean, when we were in the 80s, everybody sort of poo-pooed them, and it was like, oh,
it's
the 80s...
not still the 80s.
Oh, have I brought that to you? Oh, I'm sorry, George.
No, but it was a period where, like, at the time, everybody hated the 80s.
Yeah.
Remember, like, we were Hairspray, ozone-killing, vacuous, Thatcherite, which we weren't. But in hindsight, now people look back and say it was great. And I think sometimes you do need a bit of time from a period. By the way, I love your pictures.
Oh, please.
Phil Jupiter loved you. Going on about how he was obsessed with us. So, yeah, he loved that.
And obviously, you're doing Retrofest, which sounds fantastic. And let's see who you've got. Paul Young, Kim Wilde, the Bangles, and that's, you know, obviously to name just a few. It sounds brilliant.
I'm doing Retrofest. I'm doing my own tour in October in the UK. I'm going to America in June and July. And just touring all the time now. Because, you know, the great thing is there's kind of like a new affection for live music again.
Well, thank God, actually, you know. Please.
And I think these variety shows, in a way, like things like Britain's Got Talent, what you're seeing is that, you know, people aren't just interested in, you know, pop music. They're interested in juggling and loopy things like that.
And also just one style of pop music, because if you only
it's like
ever watch
young people
Saturday
are
Night
interested
Telly...
in lots of different things, and I think that's great. I love the variety thing. You know, I love that. I think it's fantastic.
But really, you know, when you in the 80s, I mean, you had to be a really fantastic singer. That's what Peeves.
I think you still do.
Do you? See,
So
I don't. Not
Amy
so much.
Amy Winehouse.
Oh, she's fantastic.
20 years' time, we'll be listening to her records.
Yes.
There's a lot of people we won't, but I think when you're great, you're great. And you know, you can't create great. Great just happens. You know.
There's a lot of people that are very scared to sing live these days. People like you know, it's great, you know, that you've always had a fantastic voice. You know, you've always had a big voice.
You do still get scared. I think it's kind of healthy to be a bit terrified, you know, because I had a 10-year break. At the beginning of this year, I did a 3-week tour in the UK, and I hadn't done it for 10 years, and I was absolutely terrified. When I went to play at the Shaw Theatre, and my mum was there, and I was just like, can I do this? After like 3 days, I was like, yes, I love it. You know, and you can forget how great it is.
And you mentioned Amy Winehouse there. Is it true that it was her that actually inspired you to start touring again and start performing again?
I remember hearing Love is a Losing... I saw her on the Mercury Prize doing Love is a Losing Game, and she'd had a lot of bad press, and she'd obviously gone along to say to people, you know what, this is what I do best. And I just remember being...
She's
I was in my
phenomenal.
flat, she did it with acoustic guitar, and I actually screamed, didn't realise I was on my own. I was like, yes! And it was so emotional. And, you know, for me, a great singer is someone that touches my heart, you know, someone that makes me feel sad. And, you know, Amy has melancholy in abundance. I mean, she's obviously got a lot of sadness, and part of that's what makes her great. And part of that is what makes her so messed up, you know. So it's just, you know, hopefully, you know, she'll pull through all this bad press because she's a rare talent, you know.
Well, it's proved it. I mean, no disrespect, but you've had your ups and downs with the press as well.
Oh, yes, yes.
And you're still back stronger, I think, than ever now. I mean, you're so
I think, you know, if
revered.
Amy can remember, you know, the thing is, I spent a lot of time in my life worrying about what I didn't have. Oh, I'm not #1 anymore, you know. And then I got to the point and I thought, you know what, my life is fantastic. I can still do what I love and get paid for it.
Yeah.
And we are so lucky.
And you just don't know. The thing I'm learning more, you just don't know
I think
what's next.
I do know now, though, you see, because we're at the Shaw Theatre, you know, my mum came backstage and, you know, my mum's great. My mum was like, you're so great, son, you know. And people love you, and why can't you just accept that? And, you know, sometimes you need to be told that, you know.
How did the press affect you, though? Did you believe it all? Did you...
I think the worst thing that can happen to an artist is, you know, when you're messed up, you sort of become what they write about you. You become the headlines. I saw a thing with Amy the other day, and she was talking about her music. Early days, very lucid, talking about Count Basie and Donny Hathaway, and I've never seen her do that before. And I was like, wow, she's smart, beautiful, you know, she knows her musical history. So there's a lot to be impressed with, and I think it's really sad that we've just got lost in, you know, all the tragedy, you know, which is a shame.
Which is also something that you yourself did.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you've been there as well.
Yeah. Anything I say to her, any advice I give to her, I'm really actually giving to myself.
Do you listen to yourself, though, George?
What's that saying? You teach best that which you need to learn. You know, I have to be really careful because I think we all do that whole state of that. You know, we make judgments on people, and actually a lot of the time it's like mirror, mirror on the wall. I remind you of, you know, of me of your wall. You know, you've got to sort of start realising that sometimes you're talking about yourself. You know, you need to heed your own advice. You know.
Did you always want to be a singer? Were you always flamboyant? I mean, at school, surely you never wore makeup because.
Oh, I went to school in big high platforms and
Did
big
you?
Oh yeah,
Fantastic.
whatever
Did you
the
get
fashion
bullied
was.
and things?
Oh yes.
And you
Of
came
course,
through it.
yeah, I was
you
called
see.
Girl from 6 years old, you know. People told me what I was long before I even knew what it was, you know. I used to get called Puff at 6 years old, and it wasn't until I discovered Bowie that there was a sort of light at the end of the tunnel. It was like, I'm not alone. There are other people like me. And then things like, you know, seeing the Naked Civil Servant. There's lots of kind of pivotal things in my life. And there's so many, and I think music is the thing that saved me. You know, musicians, you know, pop stars, that whole kind of bohemian,
Creative
free
atmosphere.
lifestyle was what attracted me to being a musician, you know.
Are you comfortable being this massive gay icon? Are you?
You know what?
You must be. You must be. I love it.
I can't believe you just told people I'm gay.
Oh yeah.
No, I was going to say...
No, I said gay icon.
No, you know what? I mean, I have to say that I think I'm still one of those rare people that kind of, I'm happy being gay.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be straight, you know, and it takes two of you to make one of me. So without you, we wouldn't be here anyway. So we're in it together. You know, that's the one great thing about heterosexuality. It makes me possible.
And we've been reading in... We've been reading
They're all
in...
thinking that. It's true.
Well, I wouldn't know I'm a virgin bride.
With this kind of evidence.
We've been hearing recently about Victoria Beckham says that the only men that fancies me now are gay men. You know, she sees herself as a gay icon. Would you say that's
Well, you see,
true?
the thing is, I love this show because when I was a kid, I was always in the kitchen with my mum and her mates, nosing into adult conversations. This was always what I was being told. Mind your own business. It's always around women. And I think gay men and women get on really well because we don't want anything from each other. Yeah, we may want emotional things,
Sure.
but we don't want to have sex with each other, marry each other. You know, we don't want to, you know, a lot of, like, straight guys will take, as it says in the Cyndi Lauper song, they take a beautiful girl and hide her away from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
They marry someone or they fancy someone because of this, that and the other, and then they try and destroy it. Whereas with a gay man, they'll always support a woman, you know, and because there isn't that kind, there's a mutual understanding, you know, because we are secondary citizens. You know, at school, the worst thing you could be was a puff or a girl. At school, it was like, puff, girly, and that was the two things I got called. It's like, well, and I've always been really close to women. All my best friends are female, and all my gay friends, you know, have very close relationships with women, and I think that, you know, if I was straight, I don't think I would have those relationships. I think they are special because I don't want to get into their knickers. Well, not figuratively speaking, anyway.
Speaking of, we've been on about, you know, nice lighting. Do you find that as well? Do you have all the lights on, or would you rather have
What's
candle
that saying?
light?
If all the world's a stage, I demand better lighting. Everything is about lighting. You were talking, see, I watched the show a lot. You were talking about airbrushing.
Yeah.
The most important thing is lighting. If you've got, absolutely. And the thing is, I do pictures, and if I was photographing any of you women, I would want to make you look as beautiful as possible.
Oh, thank
You know, that's what a photographer does. You want to make someone... Reality, forget reality.
Yeah, we want
Reality, you can do that anytime. You know, anyone can take a picture in the airport with a sandwich in your mouth, you know. When you're doing a
You want to
photograph...
look slim
Yeah,
with a sandwich
that's
in
going to
your
last
mouth.
forever. The spots last 3 weeks. The photograph is forever. So I think we've got to do that. And also the thing about, you know, dressing up for your man, do it for yourself. Because when you've got your makeup on, you treat people better. When I'm done up, I'm a nicer person. In the morning, when I'm unshaved and I'm unwashed, I'm grumpy, I'm not nice. I think that when you treat yourself good, dress up, you do act differently towards people, and that's what it should be for yourself, and then, you know, it affects other people.
And I have to say, Boy George, to us, you're lovely. Boy George, OK, that's all for today. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you're up to. Sorry to say the weather won't be up to much, but enjoy it whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.